The Premier League is nearly under 2 weeks on its way. So, as always, I'm going to give you my bottom 3 and top 4 ahead of the 2025-2026 Premier League campaign. So, without further ado, let's get on with it. Let's start rock bottom of the Premier League, i.e. 20th. And it's going to be Sunderland. Now, Sunderland have spent nigh on £135 million so far this window. I think the Granit Xhaka signing is an absolute coup. They got him from Leverkusen. He's already played for Arsenal once upon a time, and now he's back in the Premier League. So I think that is a significant signing. But the other signings they made, they made a Dutch player. Dutch players don't do very well in the Premier League. Everton will tell you that. And a United fan says that as well regarding, Van der Vaart or, players like that. But I just don't see Sunderland surviving. And what people forget about is, and I'll remind you of this, that women in Sunderland who were working there knew exactly his Adam Johnson's antics, which is paedophilia, when he was playing for Sunderland, and the women knew that. They're nothing short of a disgrace. And nobody mentions that. He's a disgrace. Adam Johnson, banished from never playing football again. So people need to be reminded of that. So I don't like Sunderland. Not just for that reason, of course. They were doing the Pamsan, when we lost to Man City, when we lost by a point, I think it was, years ago. So Sunderland have an obsession with Man United Football Club. And just because you spend loads of money by going back up or getting up after years of not being in the Premier League since, doesn't always work. Because obviously Koeman didn't do very well as a manager for Everton. When he bought a Dutch player as well. So, yeah, I think they're going to be rock bottom 20th. In 19th, it's going to be Leeds United. Now, Leeds, a couple of years ago in the Premier League, finished 10th. They've got the former Norwich manager. He looks like a porn star, doesn't he? He has a look of one. He got sacked by Norwich when they lost 7-0 against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, when they had Thomas Tuchel in a 7-0 win for Chelsea and a 7-0 defeat for Norwich. I mean, who are Norwich? I mean, no one really cares about Norwich. They play not a brand of football. Just like some awful brand of football as well. But, in saying that, we do get points in the last couple of years when Leeds were in the Premier League. We did beat them a couple of times. But unfortunately, this time we haven't got McTominay. So maybe it'll be different this time. But as it stands, we still have put them to the sword on many occasions. And then 18th, it's going to be Burnley. Burnley play terrible football. They're dull as ditch water. It's like watching a Keir Starmer or two-tier Keir, never hear Keir, call him whatever derogative term you want. When he speaks and when Burnley play, they try to play a brand of football under their former manager in Vincent Kompany, and they got relegated. And they had, a platform. They had, and it was an Amazon video of it, and they just went straight back down, and now they're back into the Premier League. And I think they've got Scott Parker as their manager. Burnley's a dump. Nobody wants to go to Turf Moor. No one wants to go to the Stadium of Light. Nobody wants to go to other places of that ilk, small clubs, with bad attitudes, because Leeds, Ellen Road, another dump, so on and so forth. So yeah, those three are going to go down. What I would say is, though, if an outsider who could be in the relegation battle, not relegation itself, I think Brentford. I think they're going to have a bad season, really bad season. It's not going to go well for them in any way, shape or form. They've got Key Andrews, who had one game as Crystal Palace manager when Roy Hodgson got sacked. They drew 0-0 at another dump at Goodison Park against Everton in the 0-0 draw on the Monday, one of the Monday night games. So I think Brentford could be a potential a banana skin for them, but they will stay up because they'll probably get rid of their manager and then they'll bring in somebody decent and then they'll be safe. Now for the top four. In fourth position, I'm going to go for Liverpool. Now, a couple of years ago, Liverpool did what they couldn't do for 30 years previously. And they won the last season. But as I said before, VAR was a tool to get Liverpool to get them over the line to win the the first time since late 80s, early 90s. Yeah. So VAR is always on their side. VAR always helps them out, and it really, really irritates me. So when I do get angry about Liverpool, I just go, well, they weren't because of VAR, because other teams were screwed over because Liverpool got an advantage, and that really irritated me, and that should never, ever, 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 ever have happened. So I think they're fourth. I know that they lost Jetto because obviously he tragically was killed in a car crash. I do think it was a little bit, how would I put this? People going over a bit over the top over what happened to him. What was going on there? You know what I mean? So I was very, some United fans, being a bit, I thought it was weird, the reaction. It was like the reaction that Michael, that newsreader from the BBC, the corrupt organisation, as is and still is, the BBC, scumbags, with Michael Burke, right? He said about when Princess Diana died, he was shocked. His reaction when he was interviewed in one of those things for Channel 5, he was shocked. He couldn't understand the reaction. of people's reaction to the death of Princess Diana. He was shocked and miffed by it. You know, so I was miffed by it, by the Jetto thing. Yeah, it was tragic, but fans went over the top. You know what I mean? So yeah, I felt a little bit weird. I did find it a bit jiggery pokery, his death. I did think it a little bit weird. It's more than meets the eye, that death of his. Very strange one, I think, anyway. So they're going to finish fourth. They're trying to get Isaac from Newcastle, which is very, they've put two bids in for him. So these Newcastle fans giving it the big and thinking that Isaac is going to stay. He isn't going to stay at your small club. He's going to go to another small club, obviously. He would go to a big club in Man United, but he doesn't want to come to Man United, unfortunately. But there you go. You win some, you lose some. So I do think that Liverpool have been lucky under Brendan Klopp, as he was, and lucky with the new manager that they've got, and they're spending big money. You know, Klopp was moaning that Liverpool don't get enough money. Look how much fucking money you spent to do what you couldn't do for 30 years previously. You spent over £1 billion to try and do what you couldn't do. It says it all about Liverpool Football Club, doesn't it? Hypocrites, always the victims, never your fault, though. Yeah, anyway. That's by the by. You know? So, finishing third, I'm going to go for Chelsea. Chelsea were top of the league for a brief period of time. They've got a good manager that they got from Leicester. Very good manager. They won the, obviously, FIFA World Cup, I think, in the summer, just gone. They won the Europa Conference, and they did well in that, even though it was a small trophy, really. It's only been around for a couple of years, you know. But I think Chelsea signed good players. I think they've got a good team. They've got Cole Palmer, who's a phenomenal player. I think for me, he's one of the best in the world. Cole Palmer, I think he's got the talent in bucket loads. He just delivers when he needs to, and he delivered so many times last season, and I expect him to deliver this season as well. So Chelsea are signing the players. They're doing very well, and I think they'll be a contender. They won't win the league, but I do think they'll finish third, and I think that is reasonable, good for them. So yeah, very impressed by them. Finishing second, it's going to be Man City. This will probably be Pep Guardiola's final season in England. But what Pep does when he doesn't do well, the previous season, the current season is up and coming, it becomes, you know, he delivers. He's got rid of De Bruyne. He's got rid of some of the players, you know. And people need to understand, losing Rodri, that was a massive blow for Man City. That was like Corbin back to, you know, the 2018, 2019 season, or 2019-19, 20, where they lost their key major player figure, the centre back, Laporte, eh? And then that destroyed their season. And basically, it was the same carbon copy of Rodri getting injured, but Rodri's now back to full health. You know, he's got rid of some of his staff as well. He's bought some 3 good players. He's changed that midfield. Man City will go again, but I don't think they'll win the league. But yeah, they're going to finish there. On top of the tree, who's going to win the Premier League 2025-2026 season? I'm going to go for Arsenal, and it'll be Arsenal's first ever win since 2004, when they won unbeaten, 38 games unbeaten, even though they did have several draws as well. I think they had 11 draws, was it? Something like that. And obviously we broke their record when they went 49 games unbeaten overall. They were beaten at Old Trafford. But I think Arsenal will win the league. They've got a striker. They've got, the Sporting Lisbon striker. Who's a very good. People are having a go at him, saying, "Oh, he didn't do this against Spurs." It's the first game. It's a pre-season game. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's like with these far top Reds do. You know what I mean? They just talk rubbish. They go, "Oh, this player's doing this player's doing that." Oh, Haaland didn't do well in his first season at Man City in the pre-season game in the Community Shield. He was terrible. And then he went on to score 40, 50 goals. So it's stupid for everybody to criticise Arsenal for signing this player. It's the first. The game's not even come. It's not even happened yet. The first Premier League season in the season. It's ridiculous. But Arteta does need to win a trophy. He needs to win the league. You got idiots like Lee Gunner. He's liked to be called Lee Diddy. Yeah, that's his nickname, by the way. Another weirdo him. Anyway, careful. But Arteta, I think Arteta's done a great job. I think Arteta is a great manager. People need to realise he's only been in the job for a couple of years. He's not a long-term success yet. But I think this season is the time that he will push forward and he will win Arsenal the league. And I think they will win the league. I think they deserve to win the league. I think Arteta's done a great job. And I don't know how any Arsenal fan can criticise him when he's now got what he's got, but now he's got to deliver. And if he does deliver, then Arsenal are going to have an exciting season. So I can see them going places, doing stuff. They just got it. And I think they're going to go all guns blazing and they're going to fly and make their mark. So let's have a recap. My bottom four, 20th place. Sunderland, 19th. Sunderland, 18th in Labour. Not Labour, bottom three. It's three that are going to come up. I'm going to three go straight back down. But I think Brentford will be in a relegation battle. They're going to be, a banana skin for them. And the top four, fourth, Liverpool, third, Chelsea, second, Man City, and first, Arsenal. So those are my predictions ahead of the season. Up and coming. That's not so far yet away.